So in this video I'm going to show you how to modify anchor points in a shape using the direct select tool. So let's say I have this hat and maybe I want to change the shape. I've got all these anchor points that create all these little corners. But there are things that I can do to add what are called anchor points. I can also delete anchor points, and I can even change whether they're an angle or they're round, so that we can actually bend these segments in between. Now this is a little bit advanced. I don't expect you to do too much with this, but just to show you how this works. This white arrow is what we call the direct selection tool. So let's go ahead and click on that so that's highlighted. And I'm going to come in on this hat. As I approach the shape of the segments, the border of the hat, you'll notice that that green line shows up. Mine happens to be green because that's the layer I'm on. These bounding box colors coordinate with the layers that they're on. So objects on the background will have red bounding box. This one has green. Anything on the guidelines would have blue. But anyway, I want to click on this, and then you see these tiny little white anchor points. They're pretty small, but you can notice them. And with the direct select tool, I can do a couple things. One, I can click, hold, and drag and actually move one of those anchor points. So if I preferred that, and then I can click away to deselect. Likewise, I can grab a path and move the whole path all at once. Some advanced things that you can do is you can switch back to the pen tool and click and hold, and I could add an anchor point anywhere on a path. So maybe I want to add one right here. So now there's a new anchor point here. I can come up to my direct select tool and I can move it. What if I wanted this part to be round? There's another tool on the anchor called the anchor point tool, and this allows me to come to the anchor point, and if I click, hold, and pull, I get these rounded handles, rounded segments, and then you get what are called anchor handles. Now these take a little getting used to working with, but notice that now I've created a round shape instead of everything just being straight. So again, I can come up to the selection tool, and now I can actually just edit these points to create things that are round. And I can keep converting these to get different shapes. So that makes a nice round edge, and it's all controlled by these anchors, handles. That's a little bit advanced, but if you want to play around with that to make more round shapes, custom round shapes, that's the tool you would have to use to do that in Illustrator. And it takes a little getting used to. I've done this a while, so I can get this pretty well controlled, and things can look pretty nice. Not everything has to be straight lines. Alright, so that is the direct select tool, and that's also how you can add anchor points. Likewise, there's a delete anchor point, so I could choose any anchor point and delete it if I wanted to. And then I can convert an anchor point from being a corner to having the anchor handles, which then allow me to create curved line segments on my Illustrator page.